up, guys? It is me, Terry Tarmachi, as I stand to fight, and I'm back with more Batman Return to Arkham, Arkham Asylum. And today, you won't believe. So first off, today I'm going to be kind of going over the character bios, go through the interview tapes, all the tapes, and then just kind of peek into what the extra content is all about. So, oh, never mind. And there's Batman, choose your character, Batman and Batman Armored. Okay. Well, I didn't even know that was the case. Well, with that checked out of the way, next up is, and I'll also go through the character trophies. First off, character bios. Oh, thank God there's no music for this. And I was like, oh no, it's gonna copyright me. And then, or actually, I will go this way. So I'm going to start all the way from the bottom right, and then end it off with Batman. Or actually, wait a minute. No, that's gonna take too long. That's gonna take too long trying to figure out what that's all about. But let's hear from the pukery crap called the Spirit of Arkham, aka the one who needs to choke on a pogo stick. Because between hearing him and then the other guy who was connected, you'll understand why I think that, why I say the Spirit of Arkham absolutely needs to go choke on a pogo stick. Because everything that is about him is literally just, oh boy, I mean, I think I did kind of rant about this in the previous episode, but, it wasn't absolutely vehement, but I don't know, maybe I might go in a little bit more of a vehement transition, whatever, what the heck is the word for it? I'm losing my brain! Okay, but let's start off with the Spirit of Arkham, and, obviously, we all know that it's Quincy Sharp. And like I said, this guy needs to go choke on a pogo stick immediately. Because it's long since been revealed. Because before, it was about, okay, the Spirit of Arkham, he's just doing his chiz, whatever. And then later on, it became, oh man, we're getting closer to figure out the mystery. And then to now, we know his identity. So Quincy Sharp has long since been hiding a secret. Doctors had previously diagnosed him with a schizophrenic personality disorder, but he chose to ignore it because he is literally like the 2009 version of Trump with the way maybe there might be issues, but he's like, sweep, don't care. How could someone of his importance be ill like the dogs in his asylum? Because he's a douche! On taking over the administration of Arkham Asylum, Sharp became obsessed with the hidden writings of Amadeus Arkham. Which, by the way, especially Amadeus Arkham, that family can go choke. There's so much chiz going on. I think really the only one in his family who really I'd say, or actually, I don't know. The whole family seems entirely fishy, but Amadeus is the absolute worst offender. Absolute worst offender. Screw you, Amadeus Arkham. As he read more of these memoirs, he became almost two people, one dedicated to curing Gotham, the other desiring only to eradicate the evil of insanity from Arkham. This is an ableist douchebag. Quincy Sharp is ableist. Screw you. Go choke on a pogo stick. In his demented state, demented is one heck of a word I've actually been using quite a lot on Twitter recently. But it's perfect use. Christ. He has stalked and killed patients. His ultimate goal being to kill the Joker. I remember reading this one fan fiction where it was more so a series, and in that one, there's actually a very major AU, which actually is also kind of bringing in who is the actual protagonist. But in there, apparently, I think it wasn't Maxie Zeus. It was someone else. Is it? I don't know if it's King Tut. I don't know. It's King Tut or someone. But Quincy Sharp actually kills him and ends up framing just a random orderly, which then caused that orderly to then later basically to unalive himself. It's a mess. Oh my god. But anyway, it is possible the rational side of his personality is not even aware of this dark, destructive force within him. Is it even aware that he's a big, twisted son of a douchebag? Oh, that's... Shoot, imagine trying to come up without cursing. Shoot, I just... Okay, role name, Quincy Sharp. Occupation, executioner. Also, slash administrational douchebag. Base of operations, Arkham Asylum. Eyes, blue. Hair, gray. Height, 5'8". Weight, 190 pounds. Okay. First appearance, Batman Arkham Asylum, summer 2009. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, probably after this video, I will, at least sometime after this video, which sounds pretty quick afterward, but I'll go ahead and then start, putting up the thank you, Arlene Sorkin, and then after that, then it'll be, thank you, Kevin Conroy, that kind of stuff. Attributes. Intense dedication to cleaning up Arkham, because of course, his ideology of that is literally the equivalent of freaking ableism. An alternate personality that is prepared to kill patients to facilitate the cure. Because this guy don't know jack shiz. You don't know diddly squat about mental health. I mean, but thank God, at least in today's standards, we have a much better openness about mental health issues. Yes, we still have a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. Contempt and disgust for all forms of psychiatric disorder that is rooted in self-loathing. And screw you, please! And then, let's listen to everything. Oh boy! Ah!
I am the spirit of Amadeus Arkham. Through my actions, I have saved this cursed city, though my own curse is to forever remain in the shadows. My story is carved into the very soul of Arkham, and will only be revealed to those dedicated enough to discover it.
And yeah, I was dedicated enough to discover, and then I found out who was the true one behind it, and now I want to vomit.
My family's blood ran through the heart of Gotham. We were doctors, politicians, and teachers. We have been the organ cleaning the arterial filth from the city. We have been its servants, giving all to protect it. And still it has chosen to hurt us.
And there's probably all sorts of reasons for why that ends up happening.
As Gotham's veins slowly filled with pain and suffering, the effects were felt everywhere. My father fell first, infected by some foul disease. My mother lived on, but only in a dream. I returned to the family home to care for her, where she remained in her bed for as long as her body continued to breathe. Her tears kept me awake at night.
Yeah, because at first it sounds pretty sad, and then later on it becomes a screw you.
My journey lasted little over a month, visiting academics in both Metropolis and Keystone. I was exposed to a wealth of new ideas. I began my day returning home in good spirits, eager to see my wife and family. I ended it kneeling in their blood, broken fragments of my life, pouring through dripping red fingers.
Ow!
I returned to my work, but I could not shake the pictures from my mind. I should have been repulsed, but I was more eager than ever to find an explanation for why someone would do this.
Yeah, please, too!
They brought the animal before me, shameless and barking like a mad dog. For what felt like days, I endured his boasts. He took pleasure recounting his actions, cataloguing his depraved crimes. What should have been revenge turned to pity. This poor dog needed my help.
Also, notice that this shape is like of a spider. What up with that? You got a fetish for spiders, Amadeus? That's freaking wild, man.
The island changed little over the years. Its reputation was in tatters, but I vowed to fix it. As the buildings were rebuilt, I saw the future. A bright, wonderful future.
Uh-huh.
New brick, metal and paint covered old wounds. Fresh blood was injected into the body. Bright new minds came, and all swore to uphold our promises. We all knew we were the ones to fix this city, and the city would thank us.
Uh-huh.
My family's killer stood in front of me. Years of therapy have deemed him sane. I was proud to see him walk free. In exchange for his liberty, the state required only a signature. He talked about wanting to walk in a park, how he longed to feel fresh air on his face. And then he took my father's fountain pen and killed my secretary. As he was subdued, he screamed out, pleading for forgiveness, for pity. But I had none. I watched as guards beat him to a stain on the floor.
Oh.
Spring was a turning point, a new beginning, a glorious realization of my true destiny. My family's killer perished in an unfortunate accident. These animals cannot be cured. Like dogs, they only respond to discipline. And if that fails, then I was afraid that these accidents would have to continue.
Oh.
I took a walk around my island. I passed by the penitentiary and felt nauseous at the thought of the filth it contained. I looked out over the Gotham Bay, and in the distance I saw lights. No doubt boats bringing more filthy degenerates to my city. I swore again to protect her from this darkness.
By that filth, you're literally just riddled with ableism.
I argued with the latest group of young, eager doctors. They bored me with theories and ideas, proving that they had no theories on how to cure these animals. Only one shared my vision. I offered her the chance to explore her dreams. She accepted. We'll make a good team.
I almost thought I thought he meant like Hugo Strange, just because Hugo and Sharp both had very similar ideas. But nope, we talk about Dr. Young, and we all know how well that turned out, cause he clowned it off, and she's dead.
The Gotham police dragged a new patient to the island. They said he was responsible for the disappearance of hundreds of the city's vagrants. As I looked at his disgusting body, all scales and teeth, my mind ran free, dreaming of delicious punishments to break this monster. Doctors gathered around, poking it, examining, but only I knew what would cure him, once and for all.
Hey yo, that's gotta be killer croc.
The beast was too strong. His animal savagery nearly cost me my life. I took my frustrations out on a lone patient. His case notes suggested he was a paranoid schizophrenic. His pleas, as I beat him to death, suggested much more. His confessions were illuminating. My path was clear.
Ew, ew, ew. That's all I got.
Every day I found the patients more distracting. Their insane mutterings and constant twitching disgusted me. There was only one way to cure this evil. Only one way to purify the city and ensure its future. I needed to prepare myself. I needed to be ready. I had a sudden pang of conscience. I sought counsel from my priest on the choices I had made. I asked him if it was a sin to kill in order to save a life. The holy man said all life was sacred, but a judgment would not be upon my soul if I acted to save another. I left the confessional with my soul uplifted, convinced more than ever I am doing a service not only to mankind, but to God as well.
He is definitely now one of the quote pro-life, because we all know what pro-life to these kind of people really means.
I watched in silence as he brought in the woman. Her skin now a venomous green. The wanton creature no longer looked like a human being, much less a woman. The Bible says, "Suffer not a witch to live." Yet he has once again delivered this female atrocity to our care. Once I have dealt with the monster, I think it will be time to see if green wood does, in fact, burn.
Ew. Ain't nobody likes him. Okay. Yes, we all know he's talking about Ivy. But, incel much?
Sitting in the darkness outside of his cell, I watched the crazed twitching, listened to the disgusting words that came from his mouth. How can I let a dirty animal like this live? He is the cancer I have sworn to protect the city from.
What the fridge? It's gotta be, just one of the lunatics, right?
Curse me for a fool. How could I not see it until now? The monster had a confederate. I hid in the darkness near his cell and saw with my own eyes one of the doctors whispering to him. She looked at him through the transparent barrier with tenderness, with, dare I say, desire. My skin crawled with revulsion as she kissed the glass. Fighting the urge to dash the woman's head through the glass, I let her continue. The damnable clown might have shared secrets with her that would be useful once the mad dog has been executed. I'm sure the woman will reveal what she knows to me. If not willingly, then certainly under electronic persuasion. After that, a lobotomy, I think. Unfortunate for one so young. But her lust has put the reputation of Arkham at stake. Yes, a lobotomy. The very thing. There is no other way to ensure her silence in this regrettable matter.
Okay, first of all, I was pretty sure it's Harley Quinn and the Joker. And two, torturing an employee, that's gotta be illegal, right? Like, that's straight up illegal.
Yet again, I found myself watching him. No one can provide a cure. He laughs in the face of those who try. Amadeus would not have let him live, and neither should I. One last sip of cognac, and I was ready.
Cognac? Is that his choice of alcohol?
He watched as I entered the cell. He smiled as I showed him the knife. I told him how I will use it, how I will cleanse this city. And then, terror. I was paralyzed. I struggled. I screamed, but I was silent. The monster looked at me, expressionless. He ran my blade slowly across my forehead. A smile cracked across his horrible porcelain face, and I heard the filth fall from his mouth. He laughed and called me that horrible name.
That has to be the Joker. He said Shoppy. Joker with the nicknames, fam.
It must have been Crane, another one who doesn't deserve to live. Why do these people thrive on chaos? Joker, in particular, desired anarchy, and since his escape will no doubt wreak it upon my city, I feel this is the end for my diary. Joker will be recaptured. My story will be told. I am not afraid. If Arkham becomes my cell, then I will know I did my best. I will be remembered.
What is he trying to do? Trying to emulate Amadeus Arkham? Bruh, that's literally like what some states are doing with the whole, deciding that they wanted to reenact The Handmaid's Tale. Come on, why y'all doing that shit? Also, Crane, okay, that's gotta be Scarecrow. And two, I guess Crane decided that he gonna do Scarecrow shiz after Harley Quinn skedaddled off with the Joker.
I am the spirit of Amadeus Arkham. Even though Amadeus had long since passed, his spirit lived on, surviving, moving through the walls of his asylum. When it chose me, I felt proud. I was honored to continue his work, to cleanse this city. If you are strong-willed enough to follow my tales, you are strong-minded enough to deduce my identity. Come and find me, friend. Together, we will save Gotham.
I think you and Betty have very different mindsets on when it comes to saving Gotham. I'm sorry. I have to put it there. And yours is a clown. It's a clown take that can choke.
My name is Quincy Sharp, the spirit of Amadeus Arkham. You have done well to decipher my story, and I pray it has helped you on your path. I trust that through my writings you will do what is right. Please, I implore you, continue my work. This city deserves a savior. Continue my work.
Please, no! Ew! Screw you! Boo! Boo! Ain't nobody likes you! I'm sorry. Guy has been absolutely riddled with ableism, and I cannot take his crap. Alrighty, that is that done. Next up is Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Not all of these characters have tapes, by the way, so. Here we go. Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Cousins with an uncanny resemblance to each other, Deaver and Dumfries Tweed both shared criminal leanings and fixations on Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Bruh, that's literally like Jarvis Tetch as Mad Hatter, except these are probably like lower, like D-level tier villains, whereas Mad Hatter's closer to like C or B tiers. Okay. Teaming up, they modeled themselves after Tweedledum and Tweedledee from that book, planning often outrageous, absurdist schemes to trap the Batman. Except it seems like these two are far more silly, whereas Mad Hatter can be whimsical, but with a bit of a creepy element to it. Hint, Batman Arkham Origins and Arkham City. Anyone? Though I know there's that Batman Arkham Asylum comic, a serious house on Serious Earth, was actually implied that Mad Hatter actually molested somebody, actually had like molested a kid or something. Gross! Okay, here's the facts. Deaver and Dumfries Tweed. Professional occupation. Okay, here's their occupation. Professional criminals. Base of operations, Gotham City. I got brown eyes, brown hair, 5'9", 175 pounds. I'm actually surprised that they weigh that much, because they literally look like they could weigh around 200 pounds. Both of them at 200 pounds. And then first appearance, Detective Comics, issue 74 in April 1943. And then their attributes: obsession with Alice in Wonderland, skilled criminal masterminds, and despite being cousins, could pass as identical twins. Why does this eerily remind me of, I don't even know if they were even sisters or what, or if they were actually just cousins or something, but I remember on my Strange Addiction, there were these two girls who were addicted to being identical and all that stuff, and it caused issues, especially when it came to the dating realm. I don't know. Something like that. Am I missing something? I don't know. Okay, Humpty Dumpty. An obese, bald man named Humpty Dumpty for his egg-like form. Humphrey Dumpler, which is a little on the nose, is obsessed with taking things apart and putting them back together again. His crimes at first were minor break-ins, leading to small mechanical items no longer functioning due to Dumpler's inability to adequately reassemble them after taking them apart. But soon his obsession grew to the point that major disasters occurred in Gotham. And Dumpler's crimes also extended to a gruesome attempt to fix his abusive grandmother by dismembering her and then attempting a Frankenstein-like reassembly. At Arkham, he is a model inmate, his quiet in nature, imposing physique, entering him to the madness surrounding him. That's a big fat bruh. Humphrey Dumpler is his real name. Occupation: a professional criminal. Base of operations in Gotham City. Eyes brown. He's got brown eyes. He's bald, so he ain't got no hair. 6'3", pretty freaking tall, and is 345 pounds. He looks like, though, that he probably should have been in my 600-pound life. Yeah. And then first appearance, Arkham Asylum, Living Hell, issue 1 in July 2003. And then his attributes: extremely tall, heavy, and strong. He's literally like the bloke from Killing Floor in the first Killing Floor, where they looked like they were about maybe 300 pounds. I mean, if you wanted, and then in the bloke in Killing Floor 2 looks more so that he could be pushing 400, 500, or even 600 pounds. And I know I made so many jokes about the whole, that he looks like he's going to say how much his life sucks being so fat, and he's going to Houston to get the gastric bypass surgery. I know, I made so many jokes on that. Okay. Possesses an almost unnaturally quiet, deliberate nature. I guess he's a bit of an introvert, but we all know it. We all know that most introverts do not end up like that. Ritualized childhood abuse has led to a severe case of arrested development and inability to assimilate into modern society. Obsessed with the processes of disassembly and reassembly. Pretty much. Alrighty, next up, Clayface! Okay, initially an actor in horror films, Carlo went mad when he learned a classic film of his way to be remade with a different actor in the lead role. Although ironically, Basil, remakes generally do have different actors. I don't really know much remakes that that actually retained an actor. I don't know. The only cases I've heard that that they retained from the originals and whatever was probably the crew, but actors wise, not that I've seen. Whatever. He took on the mask of the film's villain, Clayface, and killed several of the remake's cast and crew before being stopped by Batman and Robin. Later, Carlo joined the Mud Pack, an alliance of shape-changing mutated villains who had subsequently used the name Clayface. With that group was defeated, Carlo tricked his allies and injected himself with the essences of several of them, becoming a superhuman imbued with the abilities to change shape, melt others into protoplasm with a touch, and mimic the powers of heroes or villains he copies. And also just be whoever the heck he wants to be. I mean, come on. I've read fan fictions of what this guy does. And he's like, you know what, I just want to be whoever I want to be. But, I don't know. I've read the fanfics, come on. Though there's also other Clayfaces. I know one being Matt Hagen. Matt Hagen is another very, very heavily mentioned one. I think one of them also was a treasure hunter, unless if the treasure hunter was Matt Hagen, but I don't remember the treasure hunter's name or anything like that. Yep. Okay. His real name is Basil Carlo. He's a professional criminal based in Gotham City. He has red eyes and no hair because, yep. He's 6'5". Holy crap, that's tall, and 265 pounds because of his clay, and first appeared in Detective Comics issue 40 in June 1940. And his attributes can alter his physical form, adopting the appearance of nearly anyone. His malleable physical form makes him extremely difficult to injure or contain, and his touch can be poisonous. I actually watched a Vine where, I actually remember watching a Vine where it was the GCPD trying to contain Basil Carlo, and it's just that slime that's just, making it hard to come back. It was just going away kind of thing. It's super funny. I'm sorry. I can't! Alright, next up, Mad Hatter. Okay. Another Alice in Wonderland obsessor. Except a far higher up tier of a villain. Obsessed from a young age with Lewis Carroll's books, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Jarvis Tetch, an expert hypnotist, embraced the delusion that he was the incarnation of a character in the story, the Mad Hatter. Using his skills for mesmerism, the Mad Hatter has committed many crimes often themed around the book and inspired him and his love of hats and headgear, going so far as to implant his hats with mind-control chips to amplify his hypnosis skills. Above all other headwear, however, he covets Batman's distinctive cowl and will stop at nothing to acquire it. Anybody remember Arkham City? Yo, that was a ride! That was a riot! Okay, real name Jarvis Tetch. He is a professional criminal based in Gotham City. Has blue eyes, red hair, 4'11" of 115 pounds. And first appearance in Batman issue 49 in November 1948. Yep. And then attributes: master of hypnotism and mind control, obsessed with hats, especially one-of-a-kind items, delusional schizophrenic with a fixation on Alice in Wonderland. And I know he also has a very big fixation on Alice. However, there are two different ways how that's interpreted. One being that he will take any girl and just take as Alice, and then the other one, there's a specific woman named Alice who he found very strong infatuation with, but then she ended up marrying somebody else, and, well, he got pissy. Yep, that's pretty much what it boils down to. Okay, next up is Hush. Okay, so Tommy, Elliot, and Bruce Wayne were childhood friends, and unknown to Bruce, dark reflections of each other. I know. A child sociopath, Elliot tried to kill his parents so he could inherit their fortune. When his plan failed partially due to the surgical skills of Thomas Wayne, Bruce's father, Elliot blamed Bruce. An incredibly skilled surgeon as an adult, Elliot planned an elaborate revenge scheme on the Batman. He disguised himself as the villain Hush, his face covered in bandages. But he was in the end defeated and unmasked by the Dark Knight. Hush still plots revenge against Batman, generated complicated schemes with surgical precision. I also remember reading a fanfiction to where he actually first met Professor Pig, and yeah, he was obviously at first unsettled by that guy. Yeah. But then again, between him and Professor Pig, this guy is probably more up your alley if you want a legitimate surgeon, whereas the other one just... Don't even get me started. Okay, so his real name is Tommy Elliot. Tommy is his nickname, by the way. Okay, his occupation is a surgeon based in Gotham City, has brown eyes, reddish-brown hair, more like an auburn type of color, and 6'3", and weighs 225 pounds. First appearance in Batman issue 609 in January 2003. This dead gotta be before the Batman Hush, where there was that whole skedaddle with the Riddler, and you have Tommy Elliot, and then the movie butchered that horrendously, especially butchered the twist. And yeah, I know a lot of people found that one stupid. Okay, his attributes: great physical strength, augmented by a hatred of Bruce Wayne. World-class surgeon, capable of extraordinary medical breakthroughs, master of disguise, and determined to destroy Bruce Wayne. We'll see how well that goes. Alright, next up, Scarface! Okay, Gotham's Blackgate Penitentiary once had a gallows tree from which 313 criminals with death sentences were hanged. The wood from that tree was whittled by an inmate into the puppet Scarface, and that inmate was murdered by Arnold Wesker, a man who soon fell under Scarface's influence. While most believe that Scarface is simply a tool through which Wesker, as the criminal mastermind of ventriloquist, acts out on a dark side to his personality, Wesker himself believes that Scarface is possessed by the souls who died beneath the gallows tree, and the puppet actually motivates him to commit the duo's many crimes. And I know there's another Scarface by the name of Peyton, who's actually a woman. I don't remember her last name or anything like that, but yeah, she was also the other, she's the other ventriloquist. Alright, so it's Scarface, for real name is Scarface, a professional criminal based in Gotham City, with black eyes, black hair. He got a top hat. He got a hat on. What the heck do you mean? He is 2'6", 15 pounds, because that's literally how a block of wood weighs. And then first appearance in Detective Comics issue 583. In February 1988. What the frick? Okay, attributes. Puppet animated with eerie, oh god, how do I pronounce this? Verisimilitude by the ventriloquist. I probably butchered that horrendously, but why do I care? frequently wields undersized but lethal weaponry. When seized by with the ventriloquist, acts as an old-style mob boss with a sociopathic disregard for human life. And he also skedaddled with Joker briefly. We all saw that. Okay, next up is Scarecrow, and first one we see who's got some tapes. Alrighty, okay, taunted and bullied as a youth, Jonathan Crane vowed to overcome his fears through the study of psychology and biochemistry. Kicked out of his university for experimenting on human subjects, Crane then adopted the identity of the Scarecrow and armed himself with a specialized fear-inducing gas that makes a person's deepest phobias become frighteningly real. His ongoing criminal reign of terror makes him one of Batman's most psychologically dangerous foes. Yeah, no shiz, honey. Like, seriously, no shiz. And, I mean, yeah, he absolutely just, you know, he's pretty wild right up there. Yep, and, there were interpretations where he was a doctor, where he was, of course, a professor, and then another being where he was actually, where he was a doctor at Arkham, where he was like a doctor at Arkham, and then another interpretation where he actually where he first was a professor, then left to become a psychiatrist, and then ultimately became Scarecrow in the end. That's pretty much how it boiled down to. Oh, and then, of course, he was taunted and bullied and all that stuff. But then, yeah, there's a lot. I think I heard Scarecrow Year 1 or something is actually really good. I haven't read it, but I've heard so many good things about it, so I will just leave it at that. Okay, so it's Jonathan Crane, professional criminal, based in the Gotham City, has blue eyes, brown hair. That was like a typical random... That was like one of the most average looks for a random dude. I mean, that looks like straight up average, but then once you get to his weight part, yeah, that pretty much changes everything. And then he is 6 feet tall. Holy crap, that is literally an entire foot taller than me. One whole foot taller than me. I'm 5'0". I kid you not, I'm 5'0". He's a whole foot taller than me. And then 140 pounds. First appearance in World's Finest Comics, issue 3 in fall 1941. So he is one of Batman's older rogues. And I mean, I don't mean same age or old or anything like that. I just mean like he has been around longer. Okay, and attributes. Master of psychology and chemistry, creator of a fear-inducing gas, and motivated by an obsessive need to create fear in others. Also, another thing about this guy, it's not just the fear gas that he has. Because he's very good with psychology and other stuff, he actually can, his words absolutely, it's just his words that will literally unsettle the crap out of people. No, seriously, it's pretty wild. And now let's listen to the tapes, because, oh boy, it was a wild ride. Murphy is a reference, kind of like a reference to Cillian Murphy, who was Scarecrow in the Dark Knight trilogy. And yeah. Oh my god, the thirst comments people were getting over him. Oh, it is wild. And then you got people still thirsting over him today. Okay, and Oppenheimer just came out a couple months ago. I watched Barbie out of that and Oppenheimer, but still. Where, you know, he was the freaking protagonist in Oppenheimer, like. Especially for a Christopher Nolan movie, that's gotta be a wild achievement. I mean, because it seems like Michael Caine, and then at least for 2 movies, Anne Hathaway, but other than that, like, Anne Hathaway in the Dark Knight Rises and Interstellar, Anne Hathaway's character literally barely had a personality. Catwoman was kind of just, except for maybe in the first couple of appearances she had, except for that, other than that, she really just didn't do much at all. Which, thank God for Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, because she had so much character, and you actually, I mean, I'm not trying to say you absolutely have to root for her, but, you know, there's a lot more character you actually feel for her. That kind of stuff. I mean, you know, we want a good written character, and Christopher Nolan does not have a very good track record with writing really good female characters. I think the exception to, I mean, I used to say either Catwoman or Murph, but I think after reading a tweet about the whole Catwoman, Catwoman portrayals and all this stuff, I'm gonna have to say it's pretty much boiled down to Murph. Murph is probably the only female character I've watched in any Christopher Nolan movie that I think has been written well. Because everybody else just sucks. And then also doing Anne Hathaway so dirty. I mean, this was the same woman in the Princess Diaries. You do not get to do her like that. Okay. And then, so yeah. Cillian Murphy. There you go. And then Dr. Combs is kind of a reference to, Jeffrey Combs when he voiced Scarecrow in the new Batman Adventures. Alright, continue on.
Patient interview 6. Dr. Crane has been back in custody for 3 weeks. Regular sessions have been inconclusive. I am not sure he is actually insane.
Good evening, Stephen. How are you tonight?
I conducted the session, Doctor.
Of course. If that helps you cope, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Let's talk about the events 3 weeks ago. What did you think you achieved? Dr. Murphy is still unbearable.
I wanted to understand him. His personal demons, his fears. It's all quite fascinating, really.
But you were a respected doctor. A brilliant mind. Now just another resident in Arkham.
Can I have a drink? A strong one? This kind of question bores me.
I'm afraid not.
Interesting choice of words, Doctor. Tell me, what are you afraid of?
You do not get to drop the word afraid out of context like that, especially in front of Scarecrow of all people. You just don't. Because of course he's gonna get very giddy. He's gonna get giddy when he hears the word. He'd be like, this is gonna be hard, too. Hey, yo, I can't even. They all am like, oh my god. Hey, yo, we on to something.
Patient interview 9. Dr. Crane continues to evade questions. I believe he is quite sane, just evil. He takes no interest in the people he has hurt. His research appears to be the only motivating factor in his life. What is it about fear that drives your obsession?
Fear drives
my God! Marrying Mary Margaret just because he won't have to die alone, or having nothing of value if he didn't have kids. Oh no! Oh God! Yo, maybe I should go on another video, completely different video, where I could talk about why, kind of me being child-free and why I love it. I mean, come on. I have a nephew, but come on! Although that's probably one of the very few cases in that where you get to hear a man really get some kind of talk about being child-free, because the women are always the ones getting criticized, almost even vehemently, which is really demented, to say the least. Moving on.
Today I have another interview with Craig. I cannot say I am looking forward to it. I've been feeling anxious. I don't like to admit it, but I think he's getting to me.
How are you today?
I keep telling you, this is my session.
It was your session, Doctor, but not anymore.
Are you okay, Doc? I think. Yes,
Oh, he's fine. Just questioning his grip on reality. You should be doing the same any second.
That's you? Wait, what are you doing? Please, help! I need help here! I can't breathe.
Like I said, you're all part of my experiment now.
That suddenly sounds like "You're all my children now" from Freddy Krueger. Man, so I guess the unintentional Freddy Krueger, I don't know, references and or connections or just inspirations or that even came along even before Injustice 2. What the heck?
Asylum didn't work. My experiment is underway. Working for those I have created, my ultimate fear gas, its potency, annihilation.
Get all of it! Don't do it!
Good work. I have pumped enough gas into the nasal vent to break 100 minds. It should not be a matter of time.
Give it up. Now!
How are you still standing? How come it's not affecting you?
Who says it's not?
I knew it. What was it like? What have you seen?
Officer Jack, get this formula clear. This means it's up. Now! You failed, Crane. Again. I've been working with Dr. Keller on creating an antidote to the toxins in your cologne. He fooled you, Crane. How does that make you feel? Threatened? Humiliated? Scared?
Got him! Hey, yo! Okay, next up, Mr. Freeze. Okay. Victor Freeze was a brilliant cryogenist whose beloved wife, Nora, was stricken with a fatal degenerative disease. He placed her in a suspended animation while obsessively searching for a way to cure her. But the corporation that funded his research and Nora's life pulled the plug, triggering an accident that transformed Freeze's body into a cold-blooded form that must always be kept below zero. At normal room temperature, he will die. Wielding a number of freezing weapons, he wears protective armor in his quest to somehow bring back his lovely wife and avenge her fate, which he partially holds the Batman responsible for. Hold on, I'll be back. Yeah, this Mr. Freeze definitely has something really cracking up there. Anyway, so his real name is Dr. Victor Freeze, Although I don't know why in the Gotham show they pronounce it fries. Probably because it sounds like French fries. Whatever. He is a professional criminal based in Gotham City, has blue eyes, no hair, and is 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, and first appeared in Batman issue 121, February 1959. And to his attributes: scientific genius with a specialty in cryogenics, employs an extensive array of cryoweaponry. His body has been permanently altered to survive at sub-freezing state. Wears protective freezing armor whenever he's out in above zero climates, which is pretty much just about anywhere unless if he freezes places. And motivated by his grief and anger over the fate of his wife Nora. So, true love. Alright, let's get to Poison Ivy. And she's also got interview tapes too, so let's get to her. Botanist Pamela Isley was transformed by a science experiment gone wrong into a plant-human hybrid. Hybrid, what the heck? What kind of pronunciation is that? I have no idea. With chlorophyll flowing through her veins instead of blood, she developed a toxic touch and pheromone-fueled talent for seduction. Yep. Her crimes have become more ecologically focused as she has increasingly abandoned her human side. Identifying more with the natural world, her unique brand of eco-terrorism often puts her into conflict with Batman, whose iron will usually protects him from her seductive powers. Also, if you've seen Batman and Robin, you know those magical lips things. If you guys remember that scene, or I think it was Batman Forever. No, it had to have been Batman and Robin. We don't talk about that. Alright, so her real name is Pamela Lillian Isley, is a professional criminal, based in Gotham City, green eyes, or red hair, 5'8". She's dang tall, 115 pounds, and first appearance in Batman 181 in June 1966. And her attributes: an ability to encourage and direct the growth of all plant life. Plant genes mixed in with her DNA makes her an unpredictable and formidable physical opponent. Exudes natural pheromones that enable her to exert control over victims. Skin secretes a toxin that can make her touch deadly. And pathological drive to rid the world of humanity and make it safer for plant life. So, yeah. Anyone that's a vegan or vegetarian, watch out for her. Ha! Okay. Tape 1, let's get to it.
Patient interview. Pamela Lillian Isley, November 12th, 11:33 a.m. Good morning, Pamela. How are you today?
Today is a special day.
What do you mean?
This is the anniversary of my new life. When I found my true self, my destiny.
Are you referring to the event with Dr. Woodrow?
Yes. What else? Of course, at the time I thought Jason had poisoned me. But in retrospect, he did me a huge favor.
And why do you believe what he did has helped you?
He showed me the bigger world. A world I should protect. Of course, my first offer was rejected.
Offer? You tried to kill everyone in Gotham.
Well, sometimes you need to pull back hard in order to make something flourish.
that's the second time that Dr. Kellerman has said, but you were a doctor too. What happened? Kind of. That's pretty much what it's going on along the lines of, because he said that with Scarecrow about his chiz, and now it did it with Ivy. Like, yo, this dude is office rocker here.
Alan, I got you what you asked for. Do you want it?
Oh, yes, Stephen, I love it. Such a beautiful flower. Do you mind if I keep it?
Oh, no, I can't leave it. It's against all the rules. I'll just bring it and show it to you when I visit.
But it's me, Stephen. I get so lonely on my own. You wouldn't want me to be lonely, would you?
No, of course not. Keep it. Just don't let anyone see. Really. No one.
You can trust me, Stephen. Thank you. Now give me a kiss.
I can't. People will see.
No one's watching. What's wrong with you? Don't you love me? Call me Ivy.
Of course I love you.
Man's getting poisoned. First he got poisoned by Scarecrow, and now he getting poisoned by Ivy. Hey, yo!
Where is Dr. Keller?
How should I know? It does seem careless of you for walking.
I have no time for your games, Miss Ivy. Tell me where you have him. We have security footage of you and him leaving your cell last night.
So,
Do I need to spell it out? We know you hypnotized him, or whatever it is you do. We know you somewhere. But conveniently, security cameras across the island will mysteriously covered by weeds and flowers is bringing him. Now tell me what it is.
I won't say a word unless you do exactly what I tell you.
Girl's like, you ain't getting off that easily.
We found him, no thanks to you. The poor man could have died.
So,
He has a wife, a child.
as do the flags he travels underfoot, the spores he breathes in and destroys have children. Why does he deserve anything more than them? You people ignore what is happening in front of your eyes.
I refuse to put the welfare of class before the welfare of people.
And that is why you will lose. There's more happening than you know of. It's all connected.
Oh! Next up is Mr. Zsasz. A true sociopath, Zsasz grew up in a life of ease, but nonetheless became a serial killer. Indiscriminate in his prey, body count is the only thing that matters to Zsasz. He takes pleasure in arranging the corpses of his victims in lifelike poses before carving a mark for each of his victims into his own body. He is saving a special spot for the Batman. Yep, and there are people literally like him, and that's what's terrifying. His real name is Victor Zsasz. Occupation: he's a professional criminal in Gotham City with blue eyes, blonde hair. He's literally bald here, but he's definitely a blonde in Birds of Prey. And he's also bald in Gotham, where he's definitely a lot more sassy. And he's 5'8", 150 pounds, and first appeared in Batman Shadow of the Bat, issue 1 in June 1992. And a sociopath with no regard for human life, no pattern of killing, making him difficult to track, compulsive need to kill others. Alrighty, let's get to the tapes.
Taped patient evaluation 1. Patient name is Victor Zsasz. Diagnosed clinically insane after the murder of at least 20 women in the Gotham area. Hello, Victor. I'm Dr. Cassidy. Seeing as this is our first session, let's spend some time getting to know each other.
I don't need to know you, Miss Cassidy. Everything is new.
Don't you think that's a very negative outlook on life, Victor?
You've no doubt read my file.
Yes. Yes, I have. It said you come from a wealthy family.
I feel like it's gonna be in an inappropriate area. I'm sorry, that's just my thought. That was just my first thought now. Doing this again. Hey, yo. Like, geez, he really trying to, you know, lure her in. Creepy. Also, these doctors are terrible. A lot of these doctors are terrible. And the warden is no better, if not worse.
Taped patient evaluation 5. Victor is not responding well to treatment. Victor, yesterday we spoke about the people you killed.
The zombies.
They are all people, Victor.
They are zombies. Continuously shuffling through the daily grind, waiting for someone to liberate them.
You mean kill them? The police report states that you murdered, or liberated, if you like, 20 young women in the last 3 months. Each had her throat slit and was left posed.
They were all lucky to be chosen to receive my gift.
I doubt they would agree with you.
Really? How about you, Miss Cassidy? As you take the elevator to your apartment each night, open the 6 locks to apartment 433. Remember you forgot to buy your cat food. Again,
How do you know that I...
sit down in your favorite red chair, cat on lap, just waiting for something to happen. I can make it happen. Never. I am your salvation.
Oh. Nah, that's just wrong. Hey, yo, that's just wrong.
Patient's name is Victor Salles. For the record, the patient has transferred from Dr. Cassidy, who is on leave after the incident last week. Hello, Victor. Please, take a seat. God, you can leave us.
Sorry, Doctor. Warden's orders. I can't leave you alone with him.
I understand. Hello, Victor. How are you feeling today? Victor, I can't help you if you don't speak.
Depressed. Does that help you? Can you get into my mind, Doctor?
Why depressed?
I'm just thinking about the one that got away. The one I chose. I needed to walk. I want to walk.
Yo, like, this guy has gone around just... I mean, this is almost the same issue with Ivy, where Ivy, I mean, of course, Ivy can, you know, can do her crap with just about anyone, but especially with dudes, so why give her a male doctor? And then with Zest, yes, he targets anyone, but, you know, it's mentioned here that he's killed 20 women, so why give him 2 female doctors at that? I think out of all of the doctors, I think Dr. Rissler is probably the best of the bunch. Which is kind of sad. Because she seems at least decent. The others are straight out horrible, are just crap. And then Dr. Young, she's basically, she's an unintentional, straight-up criminal. That's all I can put. That's all I can say.
Victor has been more subdued recently. Response to medication has been poor. Hello, Victor. Is there anything you'd like to talk about today? Victor! This is going nowhere. God! Get him out of here!
You heard the doctor. Get out. Did you hear me?
Yee.
Victor has been in isolation since the attack on the guard last week. As I wait for him to be brought up to me, I have had time to review his notes. I am increasingly worried he cannot be cured. He has no empathy for his victims. Deep down, I believe he views all of us as potential victims.
Doc, are you okay?
What's happening?
It's Sam. He broke out of isolation. He's gone.
Oh, gone.
Don't worry, Doc. You're in the safest place. Definitely let the guy look.
Of course. But someone needs to alert the authorities. He needs to kill again. Do you understand me? He needs to. Oh no. He's gone after Dr. Cassidy.
Why would she know he's out going after her?
Hello? Sarah, it's Gretchen. Listen to me.
Hold on. There's still this door.
Sarah! Do not answer the door. Can you hear me? Do not answer the door. It's sad. He's free.
And yeah, in Arkham City, it's pretty much kind of laid out there that he did, at some point he did get her, and, he was, getting ready, gearing up to kill her, and then he was stopped by Batman. Yeah, pretty much how it went if you paid attention to the phone calls. Which, by the way, why would you need to tell your backstory via telephone calls? Aaron Cash. Okay, one of the most senior and respected guards at Arkham, Cash is only afraid of one inmate, Killer Croc, who severely wounded Cash once during a riot at the Asylum. Cash remains determined, however, to keep the Asylum's inmates under control and to conquer his fears of Croc. And his name is Aaron Cash. He's an Arkham Asylum guard in Gotham City. He has brown eyes, black hair, 6 feet tall, 185 pounds, and first appearance in Arkham Asylum Living Hell, issue 1 in July 2003. I do have that comic, actually. I do have not Arkham Asylum Living Hell, but I do have the comic, Batman Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. Yep. Alright, and his attributes: great physical strength, excellent reflexes, one of the most experienced guards at Arkham, and last, enmity with Killer Croc. Alright, Alfred Pennyworth. Alfred Pennyworth, after a varied career, was employed as the Wayne family's butler when Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered. Alfred raised the young orphan and reluctantly aided him in his quest to become the Batman. His many skills, ranging from cooking to medicine, make him Batman's staunchest ally, along with a formal demeanor that grounds Dark Knight and deflects those who might otherwise suspect Bruce Wayne's true identity. He's the only one who Bruce really cannot outdo. I mean, then again, if you guys remember that infamous drawing a bath joke, and then of course, seriously, like, he's probably the only one who Bruce really can't get past, because Alfred, he's just, dude's sassy. He is honestly one of the sassiest characters in pop culture. Alright, okay, real name, Alfred Pennyworth. He's a valet in Gotham City. His blue eyes, black hair, 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, and first appearance in Batman issue 16 in April to May 1943. Attributes: a skilled actor, trained in emergency medical techniques, proficiency with mechanical and computer systems, expert in domestic sciences, unflappable manner. Unlike Batman, Alfred is willing to wield firearms in times of crisis. I mean, seriously, this dude's a badass. Like, come on. This dude, he don't mess around. This is a guy who does not mess around. I mean, yes, he did not make an actual appearance. He did not make any straight out appearances in the game other than just collecting his shiz, but I mean, he still plays a very heavy role, as he does in the other 3 Arkham games, which I will pretty much call the quadrilogy. I don't care if I don't care that Arkham Origins was not made by Rocksteady. That's not the point. The point is, it is literally it's really cemented itself in the Arkham series. So I'm calling it a quadrilogy. I feel like the only reason why people consider it the black sheep of the Arkham series is because it's not made by Rocksteady. Look how well Arkham Knight turned out. I mean, some people love it. There may be people that actually like the game. I don't hate the game, but I felt like there was just... I mean, I felt like it was a bit, I don't know if a letdown would be too strong of a term, but it definitely did not... I mean, if it wanted to at least, you know, somewhat hold up to the other 2 games... I'm not saying it had to be the absolute best, but... man, so much better could have been done. I actually heard that originally, I think Scarecrow was always going to be was always going to be one of the villains. Was going to be the main villain. Probably always going to be the main villain. But then I also heard that Hush was going to be thrown in there too. But Paul Dini got fired. Fumbled the bag! Okay, Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. Thomas Wayne was a gifted surgeon and heir to the Wayne fortune. Dedicated to philanthropy as much as medicine, he and his wife Martha were well known and respected in Gotham. Martha Wayne shared her husband Thomas's charitable nature and was dedicated to her son Bruce's upbringing. She was well regarded in Gotham City social circles and helped host lavish charity balls at Wayne Manor. Man, who would show up to any other parties? I would not. Their tragic murder at the hands of a desperate burglar, Joe Chill, in Gotham's crime alley shook the city to its core and led to years of urban blight. It also inspired their son Bruce to eventually become the Batman. And if you guys remember, and yeah, that's pretty much how it all happened. Though in Flashpoint, a different thing comes up, which is probably the only acceptable reason for the whole Batman with guns and killing is when it's Thomas Wayne. But Bruce Wayne has a very different mindset. Okay, so we have Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. He's a doctor, so is the doctor, philanthropist, philanthropist. My God, I can't pronounce that. Okay, so I guess he has blue eyes, she has brown eyes. He has black hair, she has brown hair. He is 6'1", she is 5'8". Oh my God, she is tall! He is 180 pounds, she is 135 pounds. And their first appearance in Detective Comics, issue 33 in November 1939. And their attributes. Highly gifted and well-trained surgeon, heir to the Wayne family fortune, dedicated philanthropist, and mother to Bruce Wayne, wife to Thomas Wayne. Alrighty. Next up we got Bruce Wayne! Brucey! Okay, born into the wealthy Wayne family, Bruce Wayne had an idyllic childhood. Although he was given a strong sense of justice by his moralistic and philanthropic parents, Thomas and Martha. After their violent murder at the hands of a mugger, Bruce dedicated his life to battling the criminal element that took their lives. He left Gotham for many years to train his mental and physical abilities across the globe, finally returning to take up the mantle of the Dark Knight. I mean, look at him. He's kind of a good-looking dude. I mean, shoot. I know people have posted pictures on Twitter of like him and his most sexy moments, and in the comics and all this stuff, and yo, that's wild, yo. Okay, he's Bruce Wayne, he's the CEO and philanthropist in Gotham City, blue eyes, black hair, 6'2", 210 pounds, because of course, he's like 200 pounds of pure muscle, and first appeared in Detective Comics, issue 27, in May 1939. Alright, trained to physical and mental peak, arsenal of gadgets, vehicles, and advanced technology, inventor, detective, genius-level intelligence, expert in most known forms of martial arts, trained in all aspects of criminology, mastery of the physical sciences, computer expert, master of disguise, photographic memory, trained in stealth and espionage techniques, and expert escape artist. Shoot! That's just what happens. Yeah! That's Bruce Wayne. Alright, next up is Oracle. The daughter of Gotham City's Police Commissioner James W. Gordon, or Jim Gordon, Jimmy, whatever you go with you want. Barbara Gordon was forbidden by her overprotective father from joining the GCPD. Okay, sometimes overprotective parents are a bad thing. I made that clear. Instead, she took on the identity of Batgirl and was a crime-fighting partner of Batman for years. And that was wild. But that all ended when the Joker shot her through the spine. Paralyzed from the waist down and confined to a wheelchair, Barbara adopted the new identity of Oracle, and now aids the Dark Knight with her computer expertise, providing Batman with a constant stream of information in the field to aid his battle against crime. Alright, real name, Barbara Gordon, is an information broker in Gotham City, blue eyes, red hair, 5'11". Jesus Christ, she's tall! 126 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics, issue 359, in January 1967. But, holy crap, she's tall! I mean, she's only 2 inches shorter than that chick from Tall Girl. I actually haven't seen all of Tall Girl or anything like that, but Jodie, that's her name. But Jodie's a crap person. Babs, she cool. Like, she dead cool. Oops, I forgot to freaking attributes. Alright, and eidetic memory, almost total recall of everything she sees and reads. Extensive headquarters in Gotham City's clock tower filled with information archives, and high-level hacking and computer skills. So yeah, she's a pretty big computer expert. You know, I think she'd easily pick up a career in computer science, if anything. Okay, next up, Commissioner Gordon. Police Commissioner James W. Gordon dedicated his career to cleaning up the corruption in the Gotham City Police Department, a goal he has come a long way towards accomplishing. My God, words! He has been equally tough on crime and in pursuit of making Gotham City safe for all of its citizens. Gordon has forged an uneasy alliance with Gotham's other top crime fighter, the mysterious vigilante known as Batman. Alright, real name is James W. Gordon, is a police commissioner in Gotham City, blue eyes, white hair, that was formerly brown. We saw his brownish hair in Arkham Origins. He is 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics, issue 227 in May 1939. Attributes: experienced police officer, trained criminologist, proficient in hand-to-hand fighting techniques, and expert marksman. And next up, the snake herself, Dr. Penelope Young. What a snake. This bitch. Ew. Penny Young was always a brilliant student who was prepared to do anything to advance professionally. She had built up a reputation for being a cold, calculating woman focused only on the project at hand. She was hired at Arkham Asylum by Warden Quincy Sharp to head up the Asylum's research department and to finally restore to sanity the more deranged of Gotham City's supervillains. Why does she rank to me like she would be the... She literally... I mean, of course, she has this cold, calculating personality, but has the energy of the I'm not like other girls type of characters. Like, that's what she has, and it's so annoying. I mean, oh my god. I mean, forget her unintentional crime that she committed. With the unethical experimentations, like taking the venom from Bane, and not even realizing the matches. Well, that thing makes him big. So what the frick did she think would that accomplish? So forget that. She is literally the mecca of I'm not like other girls, without actually saying that she's not like other girls. I mean, also, she just looks like she would be the type to... She just looks like she would be the type that would just go around and, or be like just a lot of the Wattpad protagonists. She would literally be a Wattpad protagonist had it not been ads who would, present the image of being goody two-shoes, but at the same time, doing horrible things that she could get away with just because main character syndrome. I hate her. Alright, her name was Penelope Young, head of research in Arkham Asylum, has blue eyes, brown hair, 5'6", 121 pounds, and first appeared in Arkham Asylum summer 2009. This game. Unintentional fourth wall break, eh? Well, probably not. I don't know. Graduated from Gotham City with top honors, dedicated to the pursuit of a psychiatric cure for various forms of criminal insanity, highly focused on career ambitions, intolerant of people who get in the way of her work. Oh yeah, she would be the type that, that would be like, oh, I'm not gonna do Galentine's because I'm too busy for that. I don't do Galentine's because I still don't know what the frick that's all about. I mean, I remember, like, being kind of befuddled and confused when I first heard about Galentine's, and I'm like, gay? Alright, next up, the Riddler. Alright. With an obsessive, compulsive need for attention, Edward Nygma is determined to be the most outlandish of Gotham City's criminals. Concocting, I probably butchered that pronunciation, whoops, elaborate series of clues and riddles around his crimes. Batman has proven a worthy opponent capable of deducing the Riddler's plans, but Nygma is dedicated to creating a mystery the Dark Knight will not be able to solve in time. That's, yeah, that's crazy. Alright, his name is Eddie Nashton. Do they call him Eddie in this thing? I mean, seriously, the only person I know for sure the only probably two people, or actually three people that I would know of who would straight up call him Eddie are probably Harley Quinn, the Joker, and then Catwoman. And he's Edward Nygma. Well, technically it's Edward Nashton, but changed it to Edward Nygma. Because you don't want nothing to do with the whole Nashton thing. I remember being, like, confused when Lego Batman in the DS version said his name was Edward Nashton, but then in the other console version, which I have the Wii version, they called him Edward Nigma, and I was confused for quite a while until I figured out what that was all about. He is a professional criminal in Gotham City with blue eyes, brown hair, 6'1", 183 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics issue 140 in October 1948. Is a genius intellect driven by a need to test his wits against law enforcement by leaving clues to his planned crimes. A compulsive need for attention. And he is the only character in this who never makes a physical appearance. But he does have interview tapes. So he's the only, characters with interview tapes who does not have a physical appearance. Everybody else has tapes. Everybody else that has interview tapes do have physical appearances. But he does not. But, oh my god, we're going to be in for a ride.
Patient interview 21. Patient's name is Edward Nigma, also known as the Ripper. So, Edward, Warden Shaw tells me you've been reading threatening riddles scrawled on the asylum wall. Yes.
One would have to be severely paranoid to read threats into harmless riddles, Dr. Young. May I test you with one?
Very well.
What is it that walks on 4 legs, then 2 legs, and finally 3 legs?
A human being. As a baby, it crawls on 4 legs. As an adult, it walks on 2. And in later years, it uses a cane.
Good try. But the answer to all 3 is a baby. True, it crawls on all 4s, but cut off its legs and it can only wiggle on 2 limbs. Give it a crutch, it can hobble around on 3. You see?
It's horrible. How can you even joke about that?
Easily, Doctor. It's not my baby.
Oh, come on. Yo, come on, Eddie. Eddie, come on.
Date interview 39. Patient's name is Edward Nigma. At this point in time, I have yet to decide if Mr. Nigma is a suitable candidate for the Titan process. I'd like to talk about your childhood.
Miserable. Next.
By all accounts, that is where your fascination with riddles began. I believe discussing those years could explain your compulsive behavior.
Very well. My father hated me. Always called me a moron. I was determined to prove him wrong, so I entered a contest at school. A $20 prize to the kid who could figure out an almost impossible logic problem. I won, of course.
And that pleased your father?
Hardly. He was convinced I had cheated. He kept yelling, "You must have cheated! Admit it, you moron! You cheated!" I swore I didn't, and he hit me for lying.
I'm sorry to hear that, Edward.
Don't be. He was right.
Oh. Also, the whole where Dr. Young, she kind of tried to push Eddie into saying more about his backstory and all that stuff. Looking at it now, just hearing it now, that reminds me an awful lot where in Scream 6, where Sam was in therapy and her therapist was telling her, well, she straight up said she was that she is worried about her sister, but her therapist was like, girl, I get it, you're worried about your sister, but we need to get to your stuff, and if we're gonna make this work, you're gonna have to be honest with me. And then the moment she tells him, and then he's like, uh-oh, case impossible. I think these doctors, a lot of these doctors, the therapist from Falcon and Winter Soldier and Dr. Stone from Scream 6 all could compete for who could be the worst doctor, who could be the worst therapist. Like, sheesh, a lot of these doctors are horrible. Ew. And, I mean, no wonder why Sam has, you know, she mentioned in Scream 6 that she had trust issues. I mean, and she's, you know, she's understandably worried for Tara after everything, because of course, I mean, given her own backstory and her own stuff, can't blame her. Poor Sam. She needs a hug. Bad.
Station interview 44. Yet another interview with Edward Nigma. Yet to make up my mind whether he's a genius or just deluded. Whichever one he is, just being in his company is so irritating and exhausting.
Hello, Miss Young. You look tired. Anything you need my help with?
No, thank you, Edward. I'm here to help you. We all.
Forgive my arrogance, Doctor, but if you think I need your help, well, you're in the right place.
Let's look at it a different way. Throughout your career, you have specialized in bizarre traps and convoluted clues that more often than not result in the death of the unfortunate participant.
And if the citizens of Gotham were smarter, my games would be merely an amusing diversion.
Instead of this trap,
You really should be thanking me. Weeding out the ignorant, the stupid, the useless. But don't worry, I'm sure you would survive. What a lovely photo on your desk, Doctor. Your family. Mother, perhaps.
put that down. Get up, George!
Snoopy. Snooping. Oh man. Snooping. 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 That's all what it boiled down to. Nice going, Eddie. Nice going. He looks like he should be played by Neil Patrick Harris. I can't believe we almost had him in The Dark Knight Rises. We were robbed! Which I think he probably would have been a better fit than Bane. Not saying that Bane shouldn't have been in it at all, but I think also it just didn't help with the whitewashing. Like, come on. If you really like Christopher Nolan, if you wanted to put a British person in there, get a Spaniard or something. A Spaniard in England or something. Like, jeez. Like, we're tired of what? We're tired of these whitewashed characters. Come on.
Let's discuss your obsession with Batman.
Hardly an obsession, Miss Young. I simply feel an obligation to expose him.
You know who he is?
More important, I know what he is.
What do you mean?
It's obvious. The mask, the weapons, the scare tactics. He's a criminal. No different than Joker, Two-Face, or myself.
Most people consider him a hero.
Most people are idiots. They can't see Batman for the villain he is. Riddle me this. How did he get his car and his gadgets? With money stolen from the criminals he defeats. Why does Gordon turn a blind eye to his antics? Batman bribes him. The answers are right in front of your stupid talking face.
Evan, please, calm down.
What's up, Gotham? No steady, law-abiding man does those things. No one's that selfless. Batman is as violent as common.
Security! Security!
Oh! Yep.
This is my final interview with Edward. I've gone as far as I can. I can no longer tolerate his mood swings and tantrums. There's more important work to be getting on with. He will be transferred to Dr. Whistler's care as of next week.
Good morning, Doctor. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. I'm in a good mood.
I'm always in rare spirits when I'm about to be released.
Edward, you know you don't come up from parole for another 3 years.
So, of course, he knew what was happening. He just didn't know the details. Alright, Catwoman, that's his best friend. An orphan who learned to survive on certain Gotham City streets, Selina Kyle took to thievery to survive, but determined to do it in style. She learned martial arts and trained extensively to perfect her skills as cat burglar. Her criminal activities are often tempered by reluctant altruism, making her an inconstant villain and occasional hero. She regularly eludes capture by the Dark Knight and maintains a complicated adversarial relationship with Batman that frequently turns flirtatious and occasionally legitimately romantic. Yep, these two have a complicated relationship. Alright. Her real name is Selina Kyle, is a professional thief in Gotham City. Green eyes, black hair, 5'7", 125 pounds, and first appeared in Batman issue 1 in spring 1940. Alright. She is a trained gymnast and athlete, expert hand-to-hand combatant, highly skilled with her specialized whip, a cat o' nine nails, capable of astonishing stealth, obsessed with and adept to stealing famous and well-protected items, and drawn to cat motifs. Next up, Bane. Imprisoned from birth to serve his dead father's sentence, Bane was raised inside the horrific environs of a Santa Prisca prison. His only friend in the hellhole was a teddy bear he named Osito. I remember, that suddenly reminds me of Oso. Special Agent Oso, boo! Finding solace in smuggled books and meditation, he developed incredible powers of concentration. When he was subjected to military experiments using a steroid codenamed Venom, his iron-forged will helped him survive when other test subjects had died, and he managed to escape. Determined to prove his worth, he sought out Batman and broke the Dark Knight's spine. But Batman recovered and managed to best Bane, cutting off the precious venom supply that transformed Bane into a superhuman. Alright. No idea what his name is. He's a professional criminal in Gotham City, brown eyes, when on Venom turned green, with brown hair, 5'6", his regular height, and on, 5'6", regular height. He's short, jeez! When on Venom, 6'8", 140 pounds, that's his regular weight, also, that's freaking tiny, and went on Venom, 350 pounds, and first appeared in Batman Vengeance of Bane, issue 1 in January 1993. And he's a master strategist, intense focus, abnormally strong reaction to Venom, giving him incredibly enhanced physical abilities, and determined to best Batman and all others who challenge him. Next up, Jack Ryder. He honestly looks like a dick. Jack Ryder is an investigative reporter turned controversial talk show host, well known for his aggressive manner and his determination to get to the truth. Man, like he just looks like a dick. What his viewers don't realize is that he's also the Creeper, and a garishly colored vigilante who Ryder can, with effort, turn into at will. Although at that point the Creeper's manic personality takes over, the Creeper is usually on the side of good and just barely on the side of sanity. I think I remember seeing a clip where he kind of scared Harley Quinn a little bit. That's hilarious. But honestly, I'd rather take him being the Creeper than him being kind of him being a dickish talk show host. Because I mean, him right now, he looks like a dick. And I'm being genuinely serious. Like, I'm absolutely serious. His real name is Jack Ryder. He's an investigative reporter. He's in Gotham City. He has blue eyes, black hair, 6 feet tall, 194 pounds, and first appeared in Showcase issue 73 in March 1968. He's a determined reporter, known for his aggressive pursuit of stories, famous for his controversial talk show, The Jack Ryder Show. Ha! Secret identity as his alter ego, the Creeper. Alright, next up is Maxie Zeus. Alright, a deranged gang leader, Maxie Zeus, came to believe himself an avatar of the Olympian god, Zeus. Creating a cult of gang members to do his bidding, Zeus became a power player in the Gotham City underworld. His criminal activities are perpetuated by his army of followers, and believes overseen by the Greek gods themselves. This literally sounds like Deacon Blackfire before Deacon Blackfire became a thing in the Arkham series. That's freaking wild, yo. Alright, real name's Maxie Zeus, is a professional criminal, Gotham City, brown eyes, brown hair, 5'6", also kind of on the short end, whatever. He's 135 pounds. That's awfully small for a dude. Am I the only one that's I mean that's awfully small for a dude. And first appeared in Detective Comics issue 483 in May 1979. And is driven by complex religious delusions, charismatic leader who has developed a long-standing cult and determined to extend his powerful reach and recruit new followers. Alright, next up is Ra's al Ghul. I knew that was him. Little is known of the early years of the nearly immortal Ra's al Ghul, whose name means the demon's head. But it is known that he has lived for many centuries due to Lazarus Pits. Mystical and alchemical brews that restore his youth. A brilliant master of strategy and organization, Ra's al Ghul's goal is to save the Earth from ecological devastation by destroying most of its population. I mean, he and Ivy are almost similar in a way, but I mean, who knows how those two would get along. He recognizes Batman as both a worthy foe and a possible ally, except that Batman cannot accept his dystopic worldview. Batman also shares a love-hate relationship with Ra's daughter, the beautiful Talia. Ray has an unknown name, but his name is Ra's al Ghul General. But he's an international terrorist, and he's basically mobile and green eyes, gray hair with white streaks, 6'3", 210 pounds, and first appeared in Batman issue 232 in June 1971. Genius, intellect, and strategist, superior strength and stamina, superb hand-to-hand combatant, trained over millennia, nearly immortal thanks to his Lazarus Pits, because dude is pretty much addicted to the pits. Commands a legion of followers dedicated to bringing his vision of an earthly paradise to fruition. And that is clownery. Big ass clownery. Kill him off! Although he kind of got a good body, though. Oh, yo! Drury Walker was a minor criminal who adopted the identity of Cameron Van Clear, a master criminal who in turn masqueraded as the costumed supervillain Killer Moth. He is a hired gun for Gotham's gangsters, but his indigenous weaponry, including his cocoon gun, does not protect him from regular defeat at the hands of the Batman. Depending on what iteration you're looking at, I mean, things go varying for him. Although, honestly, Drury Walker, who names their kid Drury? I mean, that's literally, I mean, he got named after the hotel chain Drury. Man. Like, he literally is named after the hotel chain Drury, and that's freaking hilarious. I can't. Alright, he is Drury Walker, aka Cameron Van Clear, professional criminal, Gotham City, brown eyes, brown hair. He is 5'9", 155 pounds. Kind of small, but okay. I mean, not horribly short, but whatever. And first appearance in Batman issue 63 in March 1951. Although I remember there were iterations of him where he's kind of like the anti-Batman, which honestly, you know, would like to see more of the anti-Batman. Also, the fact that we almost got him in Arkham Origins before he was replaced by Firefly. Oh my god, we were robbed! I mean, then again, Firefly is his protege. I mean, seriously, I think it makes more sense for Killer Moth to kind of be in there. I mean, but then again, I mean, we've gotten iterations to where he's far, you know, not like super crazy unsilly, but definitely a little on the less silly end. Like, dang. Alright, obsessed with fame and identity change, a skilled inventor, immoral and motivated by feelings of insecurity and inadequacy into criminal activities in an attempt at notoriety. Yep. A skilled inventor? Dang. Dang, Drury. I remember there's a fan fiction that would call him a kid. That's kind of hilarious. And there was actually one scene where he actually unintentionally, no kidding, unintentionally saved people from a robbery, and he basically wails in defeat when he realized exactly what the heck he did. And frightfully pissed himself. Next up, the Ratcatcher. Oh, and by the way, this is Otis Flanagan, not Cleo Cazo. Cleo Cazo is a different character altogether. Yeah, she does her own stuff. Once employed as an actual rat catcher in Gotham, Otis Flanagan soon started using his natural gift and an affinity with an ability to control rats to stage a variety of crimes. Eventually, his control over the vermin grew until he threatened Gotham City with a veritable army of rodents. Incinerated many times like Blackgate, he's able to do as much damage within prison as without, using his loyal pets to relay messages and transport materials inside the maze of ventilation ducts that wind throughout the giant prison. Alright, your real name, Otis Flanagan, is a professional criminal in Gotham City, blue eyes, brown hair, 5'11", 155 pounds. That is awfully small for his height. And appeared in Detective Comics issue 585 in April 1988. Thorough knowledge of Gotham's sewer system and Blackgate Prison's layout. Eerie ability to wordlessly communicate with and command all rats. Overvalues rodent life, especially in comparison to human life. I think he and Cleo would never get along. It is never confirmed on the Ratcatcher Wood's actual name in the Suicide Squad, but imagine if that was Otis Flanagan. I think these two would literally have a pissing contest. But definitely, this Otis Flanagan and Cleo Cazo definitely would not get along at all. Because, you know, he's straight up because, of course, he's 100% villain through and through. And Cleo, she pretty much befriends just about anyone. It's like she wants to be friends with just about anyone. Although she's also a millennial Gen Z type thing. Alright, Firefly! A pyromaniac, Garfield Lynch began as a petty criminal but soon graduated to major crimes centering around arson, touching huge parts of Gotham in the process, but his fire soon raged out of his control, leaving him horribly scarred by one of his own blazes. His body is almost fully covered with burns, and he now wears a full body flame retardant suit when he's out pursuing his criminal interests between bouts of incarceration in Blackgate. Yep, and you're right. Garfield Lynch, he's a professional criminal in Gotham City, blue eyes, white hair with black temples, 5'11", 165 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics issue 184 in June 1952. Alright, thorough knowledge of flammable agents, extensive arsenal of fire-creating weapons, scarred over 90% of his body, and sociopath with intense pyromania. Jesus, Jury definitely has a lot of work cut out for him. Like, Jury has his work cut out for him when it comes to dealing with this guy as his own protege. Oh my god, now we need to see those two in a buddy cop comedy movie or something. But as villains, not like actual cops, but you know what I mean? I pretty much laid it there. Amadeus Arkham, aka the clown that needs to go choke on a pogo stick. Him and just about his entire family can go choke on a pogo stick. Amadeus Arkham found the Elizabeth Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane, naming it after his mother, whom he euthanized as treatment for her dementia. Building it on the old grounds of his family's historic mansion on the outskirts of Gotham, Amadeus personally treated its first patient, Martin Mad Dog Hawkins, who had killed Amadeus' wife and daughter. After administering failed electroshock treatments to Hawkins, Amadeus lost all grip on his sanity and was admitted to his own institution, and then where he later died. Alright, real name Amadeus Arkham, and is a psychiatrist in Gotham City, blue eyes, brown hair, 5'11", 175 pounds, and first appeared in Batman issue 258 in October 1974. And highly respected psychiatrist until his fall to insanity, heir to the Arkham land and fortune, and delusional schizophrenic. Alright, next up is Calendar Man. It's so funny how so tall and skinny he is here. Like, he is tall and skinny here, but then once you see him physically in person, it's like he became fat. It's like, dude, what have you been eating? Like, hey, yo, what have you been eating? Fixated on the calendar, Jillian Day became Calendar Man, a villain who tied his crimes thematically to certain holidays throughout the year, often leaving clues by which he could be caught. Gotham City's hopes for a day off are often clouded by the knowledge that any holiday of note is likely to be shadowed by Calendar Man's presence. Yeah, at this point, if y'all want to go out for anything like that, just stay home. Jillian, right, his first name is Jillian Day, a professional criminal in Gotham City, blue eyes, brown hair, 6'3", 175 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics, issue 259 in September 1958. Alright, he's obsessed with quirks of the calendar and carefully plans and themes crimes around holidays. It's very funny to imagine what he's got up his butt. Alright, next up, Black Mask. I was just looking up. Okay. Well, right now we're doing fairly okay. I thought, oh my god, am I going to go into overtime soon? Ugh. Okay, following suspicious death of his multi-millionaire parents in a fire, Roman Sionis inherited their fortune and then went on to bankrupt their company, saved by a buyout by Bruce Wayne. Sionis came to resent and hate Wayne. Fixated on the concept of masks, Sionis carved one of his father's black coffin and sought revenge. His ensuing battle with the Dark Knight caused his mask to be burnt onto his skin, remaking him as the Black Mask. Sionis is now a feared gang leader and one of the most powerful mob bosses in Gotham, with a burning hatred of the Batman. Oh, Roman. Alright, real name is Roman Sionis, is a professional criminal in Gotham City, brown eyes, no hair, 6'1", 195 pounds, and first appeared in Batman issue 386 in August 1985. Alright, he's obsessed with masks, harbors a hatred of Batman and Bruce Wayne, face resemblance to a Black Skull, feared and powerful mob boss, skilled marksman known for his double handguns. Nice going. Uh-oh, it's another snake. Professor Hugo Strange. First gaining fame as a psychiatrist who declared that he fully analyzed the Dark Knight from afar, Professor Hugo Strange lent the credence to his own claims by deducing Batman's true identity as Bruce Wayne. However, his interest in the Batman turned into a deranged obsession, and he's used his medical expertise to hatch a series of bizarre plots based around genetics and mind control in order to defeat the Batman, and possibly take his place. You all know how that would go. Strange's fragile mental state has left him with intermittent knowledge of Batman's true identity, a fact that hangs over Bruce Wayne's head, for if Strange ever snaps completely, Batman's greatest secret might be revealed. He was lucky that he was not the one to reveal the identity. Nope, that was just Scarecrow that decided, you know what, let's play this game and thought that would be cute. But yo, Hugo probably would have been a little pissed had he found out that it was Scarecrow who decided to pull that chiz off. But he would not have the same reaction as Scarecrow did in the Harley Quinn show when he found out about the identity, and yeah, he would not react like that. But he definitely would be a little pissed. Alright, to Professor Hugo Strange is a psychiatrist in Gotham City with gray eyes, no hair, 5'10", 160 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics issue 37 in February 1940. Alright, trained to be a physical perfection, brilliant psychological analyst, extensive knowledge of genetics, obsessed with Batman and Batman's secret identity, plagued by schizophrenic episodes that leave him confused and dangerous. Uh-oh. A ventriloquist. Alright, Arnold Wesker was a timid orphan whose deep down repression erupted in a Baroon brawl, resulted in him being sent to Blackgate Prison. There he encountered the puppet Scarface and promptly murdered the man who carved the puppet. The two are now inseparable, with Scarface directing a series of criminal activities, while most believe that Wesker is simply acting out a second personality through the puppets. Wesker sees himself as a reluctant lackey who merely does his puppet's bidding. Because of course the puppet, he does what he wants. This is not something out of Jigsaw, yo. Billy the Puppet. Anybody? Saw? Actually, I have not seen the entirety of the Saw series. I haven't seen a single Saw movie in full. I've seen clips of them, and yeah. Though I'll be honest, the gore don't bother me. This is what I get for watching quite a number of horror movies. Mainly like slashers, like Scream, Halloween, the first two Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. Alright, first name is Arnold Wesker, professional criminal in Gotham City, blue eyes, brown hair, 5'7", 142 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics, issue 583 in February 1988. Alright, he's a delusional schizophrenic with multiple personality disorder, obsessed with his puppet Scarface, whom he puppeteers with unsettling skill, and when teamed with Scarface, the two operate as a criminal mastermind. Alright, next up is the Great White Shark. A crooked financier who stole millions of dollars, Warren White thought he'd score a legal victory when his insanity plea went through. But when he got to Arkham Asylum, he realized his mistake. Driven insane by the other inmates, he was also disfigured by an encounter with Mr. Freeze that left him without hair, a nose, ears, or lips. Voldemort called, yo! Calling himself the Great White Shark, he filed his teeth into fangs to perfectly resemble his new namesake. Oh my god, what the heck is wrong with me? Words. Putting his financial skills to use, he has become a major player in Gotham's underground crime scene, running a number of rackets from his cell in Arkham. Alright, Warren White, professional criminal, Gotham City, brown eyes, no hair, 5'11", 180 pounds, and first appeared in Arkham Asylum, Living Hell issue 1 in July 2003. Is a brilliant financial skills which he uses for a variety of criminal purposes, scarred visage that makes him resemble a shark, and teeth sharpened to point. Nice going. Prometheus, which I actually heard is a pretty solid villain, so we gotta see more of him do his chiz. A dark reflection of Batman, Prometheus was raised by criminals who were gunned down by his policemen right in front of him. Dedicating his life to destroying the law, Prometheus traveled the world and trained in a ways of murder, clad in an armored suit that maximizes his natural skills. He is a master assassin whose physical and mental abilities rival Batman's own. There's a lot of villains that literally could actually qualify being as an anti-Batman. Or kind of a darker reflection of Batman. An anti-Batman, that kind of thing. Him, Killer Moth. Oh my god, you got a list! Alright, we don't know his real name, we don't know his real name or anything like that, but he is a professional criminal in Gotham City with brown eyes, white hair, 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, and first appeared in Prometheus issue 1 in December 1997. And he's a pathological need to kill law officers, trained to peak physical and mental levels, arsenal of weapons and deadly gadgets. Alright, next up is Two-Face. Alright, District Attorney Harvey Dent was one of the Batman's strongest allies in Gotham City until a criminal threw acid in Dent's face, hideously scarring him. The wounds fractured his psyche, and he was reborn as a schizoid criminal mastermind obsessed with duality. His former good luck charm, a two-headed trick silver dollar, was damaged on one side in the attack, and Dent has seized on it as a reflection of his half-scarred visage. He flips it to decide the fate of his victims. Despite Batman's efforts to reform his former ally, Dent is consumed by his fixation on chance, and his crimes are designed to prove out his diametric philosophy. Although I've read some fan fictions to where he's he's just wildly chill, so chill. Yo, that's crazy. Alright, it's Harvey Dent. He's a professional criminal in Gotham City. Blue eyes, brown or gray hair. He's 6 feet tall, 182 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics issue 66 and 19 in August 1942, and is hideously scarred to the left half of his face, which he plays up with clothing that differently styled on one side. Oh my god, I can't pronounce chiz today. Depressing. Extremely skilled with his weapons of choice, twin .45 automatics, psychotic obsession with duality, designing crimes around the number 2. I feel like he would be the type. I'm sorry. I feel like he would be the type who would sing that song with Boys Like Girls and Taylor Swift, that 2 is better than 1. I feel like he would be the type to do that. Just because there's two. Just because, you know. Just because of number 2. No, he would not sing that song 1, 2, 3 from whatever that the White Stripes or I don't know what. And defers to his half-scarred coin in choices of life or death. Eek. Next up, the Penguin. Alright, the Penguin, one of Batman's oldest foes, is an eccentric criminal mastermind, known as much for his love of ornithology and tricks umbrellas as for his shady business dealings. Gotham's popular Iceberg Lounge serves as Cobblepot's front for a number of illegal financial activities that fund much of the city's underworld. So you get that pretty cool, pretty wild nightclub. Despite his shortest stature, the Penguin is a wily foe for whose umbrellas conceal a variety of deadly weapons and gadgets. So don't underestimate him. He's got shiz up his back. Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot is a restaurateur and racketeer in Gotham City. Blue eyes, brown hair, 5'2", 175 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics issue 58 in December 1941. He is a criminal and financial mastermind, expert hand-to-hand combatant, driven by a need to prove himself in spite of his comical appearance, and deploys various weapons, many based on umbrellas and birds. Lego Batman, anyone? Alright, Harley Quinn. An Arkham Asylum psychiatrist is assigned to treat the Joker, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, instead became obsessively fixated on her patient, believing him herself to be in love with him. She helped him escape confinement and took on her own criminal identity as Harley Quinn. Quinn is a violent and unpredictable felon whose only motivation beyond general mayhem is achieving the Joker's approval. Because of his cruel and mercurial nature, this is in some ways makes her just as another of his victims, albeit a very dangerous one. Exactly, like she is. You mean, there's so many things to where, you know, they're in an abuse. They're in an abusive relationship. I mean, he hurts her all in the same. Alright, so her real name is Dr. Harleen Quinzel. Is a professional criminal in Gotham City, blue eyes, blonde hair, 5'7", 140 pounds, and first appeared, okay, yeah, I guess this is more so in comic appearances, Batman Harley Quinn issue 1 in October 1999. However, her actual first appearance was in Batman the Animated Series. I mean, that was where she first came around, and people, I mean, I think she was going to be a one-off or something, but people fell in love with her character, that this is why she's as popular as she became. And, yep, rest in peace, Arlene Sorkin. You gave us a fantastic Harley. Alright, surprising strength and stamina and superior gymnastic skills, total disregard for human life, and like the Joker, she is a homicidal psychotic who escapes easy classification. Alright, time for the tapes.
Harleen Quinzel. Call me Harley. Everyone does. I'm surprised you want to intern here at Arkham. I've always had a thing for extreme personalities. You can't deny there's an element of glamour to these super criminals.
I warn you right now, these are hardcore psychotics. Most would rather kill you than speak to you.
I'm sure I'll be fine, Doctor.
They'll eat you for breakfast. I mean it. One or two of them will enjoy it too. Be careful.
Very, very polite. Ha.
Patient interview number 1.
So I'm your first, you know what they say, you never make it your first time. I'll try to make it memorable for you.
Oh, you already have. Tell me, why do you do the things you do?
Why do you think I do it?
Thanks.
Oh, he really trying to put her under his spell.
Care to tell me how you got in my office?
Simple, really? I thought you were there. Why? You don't like flowers?
I think the guard would be interested to know you've been out of your cell.
Oh, if you really were going to tell, you already would have.
How do you know I haven't already?
Oh, sweet. I like you. I really do. Even your name. Rework it a bit and we get...
Harley Quinn, like the clown. I know, I've heard it before.
It's a name that puts a smile on my face. It makes me think there's someone here I can relate to. Someone who might like to hear my secrets.
Really? Go on.
Not here, my dear. Too many ears and eyes. Come back tonight. I'll be ready for you.
Oh.
He's crazy, you know.
Oh, Batman?
No, Stanley's wrong. Of course, Batman. Always Batman. I've seen it in his eyes. Screaming mad starters. And dishonest. Hiding his face behind a bright mask. Well, no mask for me. I have nothing to hide. I laugh at the cruel absurdity of the world. But Batman is a small fool. He makes think he can make a difference. That he can actually make things better. And the joke of it is, they all believe it.
The police?
The police, the media, the frickin' junior rangers. Every last act of walking meat in this urban cesspool. Listen, sweet. Batman knows we're all on the same funhouse ride into madness. Why won't he admit it? He's up there in his belfry laughing at us. And the real gag is the miserable liar is allowed to run free while I'm in here.
That's really incentive.
Then you understand, don't you? You know why I do what I have to do. You know Gotham's only real savior is me.
Oh.
I got what you wanted.
You did? I mean, good. Haven't you smuggled it? Actually, I don't want to know. So you're ready to stop that evil murdering that once and for all?
Of course I am. He needs to pay for what he's done to you.
Give it here, quickly. Come on, Buck. We've got ourselves a passenger.
Don't output it. Stay and know he is doing it through. Harley Quinn.
Oh, and that happened April 1st? Kind of poetic, though, because that's April Fool's Day. Alright, next up is Killer Croc. Alright, born with a rare mutation that made his skin green and scaly and grew his body to grotesque proportions, Waylon Jones was raised by an alcoholic aunt and bullied relentlessly for his appearance. He briefly worked as a carnival freak under the name Killer Croc, but his misanthropy grew as did his bestial nature, pushing him to a life of crime. As his physical condition and mental state deteriorates, Killer Croc became a more bestial foe, increasingly detached from humanity. Real name Waylon Jones is an alligator wrestler, gangster murderer, and is mobile with yellow eyes, no hair, 11 feet tall, 580 pounds. First appeared in Batman issue 357 in January 1984. In his attributes, Killer Croc has an incredibly thick, tough skin and razor-sharp teeth and claws. An expert wrestler, his strength and stamina are at a near superhuman level, heightened and senses extremely fast reflexes, able to survive in water for extended periods of time, and intense hatred of humanity. Yeah, his surviving in water for a long time, we saw that in Suicide Squad. Alright, now for the tapes, and then I think after this I'm going to pause this before it goes in overtime.
You're kidding me, right? That thing's not a man. My God! What the hell? 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 What the
Dr. Gretchen Whistler. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I hear you, bitch. So it's dinner. I'm getting hungry.
Ah.
Big Station, Session 2. Patient name, Waylon Jones, a.k.a. Killer Croc.
So, is this the part where you try and reason with me? Find out why I didn't talk.
It appears to help you, Mr. Jones.
You got a cure for me then, Doc? Can you make me normal?
Normal is a poor choice of words. No one really is normal, are they?
Figured as much. So, how about this, Doc? You let me go now, and I won't eat you.
You don't really eat people. It's just an urban myth.
Oh, you think? Keep believing that, Doc.
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to pause this before right now before it goes into overtime. So I'll be back. All right, we're back in action.
Please don't do that again, Mr. Cash. It's not helping. I'm sorry for that. What can we do if you insist on hospitalizing Steve Jobs?
You're on whatever you like, Doc. This thing just tickles. I'm happy to wait here. Wait for the bat. He'll be back, and I'll kill him. Then Cash. Then you.
Oh, it getting spicy.
Patient interview, Waylon Jones. Progress has been slow. What happened back in that house?
Just business.
Business? What kind of business practices result in a house full of mutilated corpses?
I don't like having my time wasted. Someone doesn't pay. They need a license. They owe me.
So you killed them. Core of their bodies. The police never found all the pieces.
They should have looked at the sewers.
Are you saying you hid them there?
After a while. Usually takes about 8 hours. Time to go, Brock. Get up.
Ew, he ate them.
Patient interview. Waylon Jones, a.k.a. Killer Croc. Last night, the patient was pacified after a breakout attack. Guardian Cash is in hospital. Reports state that the patient attacked Cash and in the struggle consumed his left hand. Cash is lucky to be alive. He lost a lot of blood.
Me too. I nearly choked on that boat behind the gate.
That's disgusting. He could have died.
He's just food to me. And once I get a taste, I want the rest of the meal. You know that.
Get him out of here. Now.
Not yours then, too, lady. I'll see you around.
TikTok as you play that song where that, as he plays that song where that crocodile comes closer before going after Captain Hook and Peter Pan. At least that little song in there is a bop, because the rest of the movie to me just kind of sucks. Alright, next up is Frank Bowles, aka Another Snake. Alright, Frank has been working in Arkham Asylum for 8 years. He has twice been suspended for drinking on the job and regularly holds poker events at the guard rooms. Frank is desperate to be top dog at Arkham. he fails to recognize that he is considered untrustworthy and generally disliked. Yeah, the fact that he's only been suspended and not been fired is, you know how horrible standards at that hospital are when this guy has only been suspended and has only been suspended and never fired. Like, jeez. Alright, Frank Falls is an Arkham Asylum guard in Gotham City with brown eyes, black hair, 6 feet tall, 185 pounds, and first appeared in Batman Arkham Asylum, summer 2009. Alright, and his arrogant belief that he is the best guard in Arkham Asylum uses sarcasm to cover up insecurities and failures. Violent temper has resulted in many injuries to patients. So, yeah, this guy should not be trusted. It's in the same way how some people should not be favor drivers because of their attitudes. How do I know this? Because I'm certain I stumbled upon one firsthand. Where if y'all don't know what favor is basically a delivery service used in Texas, in the state of Texas. I don't know if every state has their own delivery service. I mean, I know, like, you have the pretty much nationwide, like DoorDash, Grubhub, that kind of stuff, but I don't know if any of the states have their own delivery service, because, I mean, I don't know if any of them have their own delivery service, whether it's food or whatever, groceries. But here in Texas, we have Favor, and, so I mean, there was one guy who was absolutely rude to me just because I took out an order that was not his, that he was supposed to pick up, even though I had, a coworker was taking care of getting his order retrieved. But once I finally brought that guy's order, he just kept yelling, "You lie, you lie, you lie!" And then, however, the icing on the cake was when I asked, because there was alcohol in the purchase, I asked him for his birthday to confirm his birthday because there was alcohol in the purchase. And he's just like, "Ah, no, have a nice day." And he just left, and I was just like, what? Yeah, that was not pleasant. Part of why I hate working in customer service. Stay away from customer service if you can help it, unless if you like helping people. But other than that, stay away. Alright, next up, another snake, probably our last official snake, Warden Sharp. Okay, Quincy Sharp has been running Arkham Asylum for the past 3 years and has dedicated his life to restoring to sanity these so-called supervillains that plague Gotham City. AKA, he's extremely ableist. He is currently campaigning to become the next mayor of Gotham. To facilitate this campaign, he has instigated stringent new security and experimental research policies at Arkham. He is Quincy Sharp, warden of Arkham Asylum in Gotham City, with blue eyes, gray hair, 5'8", 190 pounds, and first appeared in Batman Arkham Asylum, summer 2009. And his attributes is an intense dedication to cleaning up Gotham, aka his thing of ableism, pompous and old-fashioned in demeanor with a focus on his own political aspirations, and contempt for Arkham's inmates and disinterest in the specifics of their treatment masks a cowardly nature. Yeah, he's a clown. And not the good kind. Alright, next up, the Joker. And it's an insanely homicidal supervillain. The Joker's white skin, green hair, and blood-red lips belly the chaotic nature underlying his cartoonish appearance. Everybody knows that face. The self-styled Clown Prince of Crime has no superpowers beyond a capacity for incredible violence and a skill at creating deadly mayhem. He frequently concocts elaborate schemes to entrap his arch-nemesis, Batman. Oh, and also he sometimes will throw in the, apart from his usual violent stuff, he'll of course throw the occasional throw the pie in the face stuff. I mean, Batman the Animated Series is probably one of those big examples where he could, do silly stuff like that in between his more malicious acts. He has no known name. We know nothing. We hardly know shiz about him. He's a professional criminal in Gotham City. Green eyes, green hair, 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, and first appeared in Batman issue 1 in spring 1940. And his attributes is unrepentant homicidal maniac, albeit without a precise psychological diagnosis, surprisingly strong hand-to-hand combatant. His past is unknown. Conflicting, unconfirmed reports state that he was a failed comedian, a petty thief, and a broken family man. Or, yeah, he has multiple choice. Anybody get that? Killing joke? Yeah. And, yeah. Employs various deadly weapons, often based on party gag items. Frequently uses a toxin that stretches victims' face into a Joker-like grin and causes death. Also, I think there was some that I was going to say earlier. Wait, what? Oh! That he was actually almost going to be, I think he was actually also going to be a one-off villain, but because of how popular it became, that ended up not going on after all. To where now he is the top villain. Though it has been heavily debated on whether he should just take a back seat for some of the other villains to get proper development and actually, you know, have their own stories without getting sidelined themselves. There has been very heavy debate among that, and honestly, I can safely say I definitely think, you know, if you're gonna have the Joker around, just make him more of a minor character. Just have him through and have him just do the whole occasional throw the pie in the face type of chiz, while the other villains can get more proper focus. If y'all get what I mean. But if you absolutely must include the Joker, make him a minor character. Otherwise, don't throw him in at all. That's just kind of my take.
Another one of those boring private evaluation tests?
No, it's not. So, you're a better Joker.
In the flesh. So, Doc, you want me to look at the key cards again? The first one is a kick I had when I was a child. The second is a dead elephant. The third is a...
Okay, now let's get the joke.
Get the joke? Hey, Sean, didn't she get my permanent record? This quarter's closed.
Every doctor that has ever interviewed you claims a different type of psychosis. Everything from multiple personality disorders to, well, the list is endless.
I do my best.
I don't believe it. Anything can be cured within a correct treatment.
And you think you can cure me?
Oh, I know I can.
We all know how that went in the end.
Case patient interview 17. Joker remains uncooperative. My earlier diagnosis remains true. I believe he enjoys his persona too much.
What's up, Doc?
Today I thought we'd try something different.
So you make me blush, Doc. I have a pill today.
Dr. Quinzel, I know. He's a patient. I saw one guy.
What can I say? I'm a charmer.
Anyway, I thought it would be good to talk about your childhood.
Oh, ever heard of romance, Doc? I don't give up the goods for free. You'll have to try harder.
What are you hiding?
Didn't you hear me? You search my bag, Doc, and, well, I won't have you wrapped in plastic and left in a gutter.
Oh! Yo, come on.
Case patient interview 20. Joker isn't what interesting and I originally believed. When Project Titan is operational, I believe Joker will be the perfect test subject. Good afternoon. Today I thought I'd get back to our previous conversations about your family.
Of course. I was born in a small fishing village. I always wanted to join the circus, but my father wouldn't really let me.
I don't believe you.
My father was gone. 1 week from retirement with a mob.
That's it. What are you scared of?
Scared?
Yes, scared. There's obviously something. Something that makes you what you are.
What if? What if I'm too scared
Like, yo, have you heard about what goes on in Gotham, Arkham, and all this stuff? You know, when, you know, rumors. It's like it's like a freaking soccer mom talk. It's soccer mom gossip group. You want to know what also, you want to know what other universe also matches the energy of soccer mom gossip groups and all that stuff? The engines on the island of Sodor. They have gossip trains. Like, holy crap.
I've been a fool. I'm going behind it all. He gave me the money, pulled the strings to release Bane. How could I not have seen it? He's blackmailing me. He has a crazy plan to create an army of monsters. I want out, but it... Hello? Hello? Dr. Young's office. Please call for Mr. White. What?
Hello, Doc. We need to talk.
I'm not doing this, Joker. Really? Wait. How did you get access to a phone?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Doc. I'm a secret. I hate small, fine things. Reminds me of my childhood.
Another lie?
No, I certainly do, but let's not get distracted with details. So, anyway, I want my monsters.
That's the money. I don't want it.
Do I look like I care about money? I just want my monsters, Doc. And you don't give them to me? Well, then, it won't be funny.
Then again, I mean, in the game itself, Batman straight up told Dr. Young, even after she told him that she tried to give Joker his money back, and Batman blatantly just told her, Joker doesn't take no for an answer. That's what it is. Alright, and lastly, Batman! When his parents were gunned down in front of him, young Bruce Wayne resolved to rid Gotham City of the criminal element that took their lives. He trained extensively to achieve mental and physical perfection. In addition to mastering martial arts, detective techniques, and criminal psychology, dressing up as a bat to prey on criminals' fears, Batman fights crime with the aid of specialized gadgets and vehicles operating out of his secret Batcave below Wayne Manor. He is Bruce Wayne as the CEO, philanthropist as Gotham City, with blue eyes, black hair, 6'2", 210 pounds, and first appeared in Detective Comics issue 27 in May 1939. And his attributes is trained to physical and mental peak, arsenal of gadgets, vehicles, and advanced technology, inventor, detective, genius level intelligence, intellect, whatever, expert in most well-known forms of martial arts, trained in all aspects of criminology, mastery of the physical sciences, computer expert, master of disguise, photographic memory, trained in stealth and espionage techniques, and expert escape artist. And that's all of them. That's all of the characters. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys in another random Let's Play, whatever it is. I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys!